Have you ever heard of a man so strong he could tear a lion apart with his bare hands? Or defeat 1,000 soldiers using only the jawbone of a donkey? This isn't a comic book hero. This is the incredible true story of Samson, the strong man of ancient Israel. After the time of Joshua, the nation of Israel found itself in a dark period. They had strayed from their faith, and as a consequence, they were dominated by their powerful and ruthless neighbors, the Philistines. For 40 long years, the Israelites lived under Philistine oppression. Philistines, with their iron chariots and organized armies, were a fearsome force, and the people of Israel were scattered, weak and filled with despair. They desperately needed a hero, a deliverer, who could break the chains of their bondage. And in this time of great need, God was about to send them one. But he would be a hero unlike any they had ever seen before. In a small village, an angel of the Lord appeared to a barren woman, the wife of a man named Manoah. The angel brought astonishing news. She would bear a son, but this would be no ordinary child. He was to be a Nazirite from birth, dedicated to God. This meant he could never drink wine. He'd touch anything unclean, or, most importantly, cut his hair. For in his hair, the angel declared, would lie the secret to his incredible, God-given strength. This boy's name would be Samson, and his destiny was to begin the deliverance of Israel from the hands of the Philistines. As Samson grew, the Spirit of the Lord began to stir within him. He was strong, confident, and perhaps a little bit reckless. His first major test came when he traveled to a Philistine town, and a young lion suddenly attacked him. With the power of God rushing through him, Samson grabbed the lion and tore it apart with his bare hands as easily as if it were a young goat. This was the first glimpse of the divine power he possessed, a sign that he was truly set apart for a special purpose. However, Samson's story is also a tale of human weakness, especially his weakness for Philistine women. Despite his parents' warnings, he fell in love with a woman from Timnah. At their wedding feast, he posed a riddle to the Philistine guests, a riddle about the lion he had killed. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. When they couldn't solve it, they threatened his new wife, who tricked Samson into revealing the answer. Betrayed and enraged, Samson's fury was unleashed. He went down to another Philistine city and, in his anger, struck down 30 men to pay off the debt from his riddle. His first marriage ended in disaster, but his war against the Philistines had just begun. Consumed by a desire for revenge, Samson became a one-man army, caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together in pairs with torches, and set them loose in the Philistines' fields, burning their grain, vineyards, and olive groves. The Philistines retaliated, and the conflict escalated. They cornered him, and his own people, terrified, tied him up to hand him over. But as the Philistines shouted in triumph, the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson. The ropes on his arms snapped like burnt threads, found the fresh jawbone of a donkey, and, with his makeshift weapon, he single-handedly struck down 1,000 Philistine soldiers. In that moment, he wasn't just a strong man. He was an unstoppable force of divine judgment. But Samson's greatest weakness would lead to his ultimate downfall. He fell in love with another Philistine woman, the infamous Delilah. The Philistine lords, desperate to stop Samson, offered Delilah a fortune if she could discover the secret of his strength. 3 times she tried to trick him, and 3 times he lied to her. But she persisted, wearing him down with her constant pleading until his soul was vexed to death. Finally, he broke his Nazirite vow and told her everything. His strength came from his uncut hair. That night, as Samson slept on her lap, Delilah had a man shave off the 7 braids of his hair. When she cried out, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson!" he awoke thinking he could escape as before. But this time the Lord had left him. His strength was gone. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him to Gaza. The mighty hero, now blind and powerless, was forced to grind grain in a prison, a subject of mockery for his enemies. But they made one final fatal mistake. During a great festival to their god Dagon, the Philistines brought the blind Samson out to entertain the crowds. Thousands packed the temple to jeer at the fallen champion of Israel. As he stood between the 2 central pillars that supported the entire temple, Samson's hair had begun to grow back. He prayed one last time, a desperate plea to God, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, Strengthen me just once more." With his hands on the two pillars, he pushed with all his might. The temple collapsed, killing Samson and thousands of his enemies, more than he had killed in his entire life. In his death, Samson achieved his greatest victory. His life was a complex tapestry of divine strength and human failing, a powerful reminder that God can use even our imperfections to achieve his ultimate purpose. Samson's story is not just about a strong man. It's about a mighty God who can bring deliverance through the most unlikely of heroes. Thank you so much for watching this incredible story with us. If you were moved by the tale of Samson, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more epic stories from history. We'll see you in the next video.